Welcome, viewers, to another fabulous episode of Unapologetically Free. Now, today we are going to talk about how you should master and rule over your emotions. How you can master and rule over your emotions. Now, first up, in your journey on NoFap, one of the most prominent emotions that you experience is this emotion of lust. It's what people experience when they say things like, oh, I'm feeling horny. It's this sense of discomfort, this sense of pressure that is being built up in you. And it's one of the most powerful driving forces in the universe. And it is what makes us people with almost unlimited potential if we are able to manage this energy instead of just dissipating it by fapping. Now, the problem comes when we are unable to control it, but instead let it control us. Now, for people who are on NoFap, I am almost sure that at least half of the people out there in the world that are males are unable to do anything to control this sense of sex drive that they have. They have no control over it. That is to say, genuinely, if an attractive enough woman throws themselves at this guy would just take it. For example, if a pop up on the internet appears, this guy would just jerk it. Now, some of us may rationalize it and say it is normal for us guys to do that. But just imagine how scary it is to know that this one thing controls you, that you have no control over it. And the only way I will believe that you have control over this emotion of lust or sexual energy is if you are able to go on NoFap and conquer this. Now, apart from all the benefits that I have mentioned, there is a great sense of achievement knowing that you are able to do what many men cannot do. It almost gives you a sense of superiority over the men that you see and meet on the outside. It goes something like, at least I know I have more self-control than many of the men out there because I'm able to keep my cool and keep this emotion of lust under my control. That is just so key. In fact, if you are able to act in spite of your feelings, that is to say, the emotions are still there. Don't be mistaken. You cannot kill off your emotions. Your emotions will still be there, but you are now able to channel the direction of the emotion. If you read the book called Think and Grow Rich, this is what they mean by sexual transmutation. So you build up a certain sense of energy and then you channel it using your brain, using the rational part of your brain. You channel this emotional energy towards a certain end. And that is why it is so important to learn to ignore your emotions at times. Not so much ignore, but to not act while you are in a heightened state of emotional arousal. Now, what I mean is, I give an example. I see some men who are like putty. They are like pudding and they're just so soft and weak in the presence of women, especially beautiful women. And it's because women to men are a source of pleasure. And you can literally see some of these men get high, get excited, and start going ballistic around women when they are in the vicinity of women. Now, this comes across as extremely desperate. And for you people out there who still don't know, desperate behaviors are extremely turn off and unattractive. And to me, it's because it shows you're literally telling the person, the women, that you are a slave to her, because just her presence alone is enough to make you go crazy and make you go haywire. That that is just to me a form of insult to people. You should never allow you should never allow such stupid things to gain control over you. Have that self-respect, and if currently you lack the ability, stick on nofap, stop touching your dick, and just regain this sense of masculinity that over time, because of a lack of direction, that you have lost. Okay. And the last thing I want to mention in this video is to master your emotions. That is to say, even as at times you are able to ignore certain parts of your emotions, there will also be times where you should be able to release your emotions. For example, when you are married, you ought to just use this sense of lust to make love with your wife, and to just enjoy this relationship that is that that you have earned, that you have fought hard for. That is so key, because I see a lot of people not being able to master their emotions, in the sense that when they want to speak and review a subject that is very intimate and passionate to them, they would say things like, "Oh, I am very excited about this." And there's no sense of excitement in their voice, and that they are just unwilling to review the feelings and review the emotions that they have. And that is because they are afraid. When I'm afraid, I will try and hide my emotions behind a monotonous face and act like everything is okay. But in fact, everything is not okay. And it just screams that I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid. So master your emotions. There are times you don't want to act on your emotions, but emotions are so powerful in a quest to influence people, in a quest to really gain influence and to be able to gain authority and leadership skills. You need to learn to master your emotions. Now, in terms of decision making, there are a lot of times through my own experience where I realized I made certain wrong decisions in the heat of the moment. It could be because I was drinking coffee and caffeine, and suddenly I felt this sense of euphoria, and I felt like, oh yes, I'm unstoppable. And then perhaps I made some long-term commitment decisions at that point, which wasn't very wise. Neither was it very smart, because it was only in that state of heightened arousal due to the caffeine that I was foolishly thinking that yes, I can handle it, but I cannot. So rationally assess your own ability instead of what you think you are. Try and find out where you really are and work from there. And work from there. So if you like this video, like it, comment, subscribe, share it, and I'll see you